Adulting, bro, is no child's play. When we were younger, we wanted to grow older, we wanted to look like we're older than our age. But as soon as we start to age, as soon as you start to get into your 20s, shit gets real. Life just get real. And you start to realize that, I was rushing for this miserable life that I'm living right now. This is not what I expected. This is not what I envisioned. And it's so surprising that we find ourselves in whatever situations that we come across in our 20s, in our early 30s, and we have no clue on how do we go about maneuvering around this life that seems to be unfair, maneuvering around this life that seems like it's against us. We're never prepared to face this life in such a way that it doesn't destroy us, because most of us, let's be honest, whenever we're faced with something that feels like it's a threat or feels like it's going to destroy me, I completely lose myself along the process, and it feels like life is very unfair when I experience those kind of things in my life, those kind of events, which actually puts me in a situation whereby I start to question everything around me. I start to question whether God exists, whether is this universe listening, whether are my ancestors there with me. You start to question everything, bro. And some of those questions that you ask yourself, you have no answers to those questions. You just ask yourself. Some others, they get to a point where they even cry about it, and it's so sad. I feel like what parents should teach their kids when they're younger is, let me prepare you for the future. That's why it's not good to treat a child in such a way that it makes them like dependent on you. You should raise your kids in such a way that they're independent. Even when you die tomorrow, they can carry on with their lives. Yes, there will be that gap of losing someone they love, but at least they will know how to survive. At least they will know how to live. We shouldn't teach them on how to survive only. We should also teach them how to live a very fulfilling life. But it's quite harder if you, the parent, or even the guidant, or even the caregiver, you are actually confused. You don't know how to respond to life, which is very sad for not only for you, but for the people that are coming after you, your kids, because they won't get a chance to actually express life from the other side, from the other views. But if you are the parent, or even the caregiver, or even the guidance, have a clue or even have an idea of if someone can do this, they can actually live a fulfilling life. But how do you go about teaching that if you yourself haven't make it in life? It's quite hard, right? So that's why I emphasize the idea of teaching people about what I normally talk about on my YouTube videos. Hence I brought up this topic to address these kind of issues, because we live in a society whereby, or even in families, or even in generations where we are not open about such conversations. We are not ready to talk about it. We are not ready to talk about the damages which are affecting our daily lives, which are affecting our day-to-day life. And no one wants to talk about it. No one is ready to have this kind of conversations. That's why I brought up this kind of conversations in my YouTube videos, to teach, to enlighten others. And I'm not saying that I have no problems, I'm doing well in my life. I also do come across certain challenges that actually threatens me. And I'm proud that I'm the person that I am today. I had to become this person that I am today through experience. I had to experience most of the things that I normally talk about, because that's where the true essence of where I'm coming from. That's where this current version of me was built. and I'm still being taught a lot of lessons by life. Life is constantly teaching me things that I cannot learn in class, that I couldn't learn in school. Can only learn through experience. Sorry about that. When you talk about problems, it's not something that you see in other people's life. It's something that they have went through. It's something that you are going through. It's something that you are still going to face. It's something that you are still going to go through. And you should be prepared to know how to handle problems. That's why, as a man, even as a woman, in your 20s or in your 30s, you must have high stress tolerance. Especially if you're a breadwinner, you must have high stress tolerance, which will allow you to maneuver around life, which will allow you to not fumble whenever you're faced with chaos. People are going to submit their problems to you. Some other people are going to cause problems for you. But how are you going to handle these kind of problems if you don't have high stress tolerance? That's why it's good to have high stress tolerance, especially as a man. I'm highly focused on men right now as I speak. I'm speaking to any young men out there because I know life for men is can be tough, can be hectic, and it's very harsh. Truth be said, truth be told, and we should prepare one another. And I'm saying that I'm at a point in my life where things are just going okay. I don't have problems. Even if I do have problems, I'm able to solve those kind of problems. No, sometimes I get to a point where I feel like I can't do it anymore. But I remember where I'm coming from. I remember what I had won before. I remember what I had to go through before, and that's why I'm here today to turn the tale to say, yes, things might be tough today, but not as compared as tomorrow. Things might get worse tomorrow, things might get better tomorrow. I just have to keep on pushing. I just have to be myself throughout that course. I mustn't lose myself. So those are some of the things that I wanted to delve into on today's video. I'm not sure if you did happen to find value in what I've shared with you on today's video, but if you did, please let me know in the comment section on what value you picked out in this video. Also guys, for more life-changing information, there is a book called To the Leader in You by myself, Duncan Mnisi. I will leave the link to the book on the description box. On that note, I'll see you guys on the next video. This is your boy Duncan Mnisi. I'll see you guys on the next one. Do not forget to subscribe.